लेटेस्ट न्यूज़ सब तो पहला अपने फोन ते देखने लिए साडा चैनल सबसक्राइब करो और नोटिफिकेशन के लिए बेल आइकॉन जरूर दबाओ।
सत श्री अकाल। हमदर्द टीवी देखने वाले सारे दर्शकों का स्वागत है। मैं हाँ तरनजीत कौर। सो जिमें कि सारे जानते हैं कि म्यूनसिपल इलैक्शनस आने लगियां ने। सो ओंटारियो दे विच म्यूनसिपल इलैक्शनस का बुखार है। सो ਜਿਹੇ ਵਿੱਚ अलग-अलग ਸਿਟੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਇਸ ਵਕਤ ਟੌਪਿਕਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਏਜੰਡਾਸ ਹੈਗੇ, ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਕੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮਸ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਡਿਸਕਸ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਅਸੀਂ ਹਾਲ ਹੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬ੍ਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ, ਸੋ ਬ੍ਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਮਿਸੀਸਾਗਾ ਦੀ। ਮਿਸੀਸਾਗਾ ਦੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮਸ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਾਹਮਣਾ ਕਰਨਾ ਪੈ ਰਿਹਾ, ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਤੇ ਇਸ ਲਈ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੌਜੂਦ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਹੈਵ ਇਨ ਆਵਰ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ ਮੇਅਰ ਆਫ ਮਿਸੀਸਾਗਾ ਬੌਨੀ Crombie with us. Welcome to Humdard TV.
Thanks so much, Sat Sri Akal, and thank you for having me here today.
So, Mayor, if we talk about your tenure from 2014 to 2022, how was your tenure? How was your experience as Mayor of Mississauga?
Thank you. So, first, let me say what an honor it is to represent the people of Mississauga, and now they're Mayor for 8 years, following in the footsteps of Hazel McCallion, our very beloved former Mayor. And I really, truly owe the South Asian community, in particular the Sikh community, for the support that I've always received from them, even when I was Member of Parliament in Mississauga Streetsville, and up until today as Mayor. We have done so much in Mississauga. We have grown, we have developed. I'm attracting investment and jobs to Mississauga. We are building housing and we are building public transit. So we are moving Mississauga forward, as I like to say, and I would like to continue on that path to finish the vision of building a livable, walkable city. A city that has complete communities, meaning where you live, you can work, you can walk to the store, you can go to your place of worship, all in one location. And this is the way I hope to change Mississauga, to make it more livable, more walkable, and building complete communities.
So if we talk about the last 4 years, so what programs or what projects you have bring for Mississauga in the last 4 years?
So very many. Let me say that it has been a lot about job creation, and we have attracted so much employment to Mississauga. We have over 96,000 businesses. 75 are Fortune 500 companies. 1,400 are multinationals. Over 100 are Japanese-based advanced manufacturing or ICT. Same with German companies. And even during COVID, I did not stop. I kept attracting investment because I wanted to create jobs. And just during COVID in the past 2 years, we attracted 2,000 new employers and 13,000 jobs. I'll have to go back and add up the number of businesses since the 8 years that I've been mayor, but it's been pretty significant. We have over 500,000 jobs in Mississauga. More people start and end their day in Mississauga, drive to work in Mississauga than drive out somewhere else. We are an economic powerhouse in Ontario. We are the 3rd largest city, first Toronto, then Ottawa, then Mississauga. And you know, as Mississauga is made up of Peel Region as well, and we fund 60% of Peel Region because of our assessment base with strong businesses. We're also building housing. We have many new communities being developed, and this is so important because we have a housing affordability crisis.
Of course.
You know, the seniors need housing, but they don't want to leave their large homes. Young families want homes. So we're building. We have new developments occurring in the downtown. We are urbanizing. We're building a vibrant downtown where you can walk to stores and to restaurants. And I have over 56 towers coming in the next 30 years. 25 of those towers in the next 5 years. In the downtown is becoming very urban. And then we have Uptown, here Ontario, Eglinton. All 4 corners are being redeveloped. In the south, where there was once, we were reclaiming land from brownfield, where there was a power plant. Now, a mixed-use community development called Lakeview. We took down the power plant and we're building housing, commerce, recreation. People will have access to the lake, a place where people can live and work. We call that a mixed-use community, and it will be a complete community. 8,000 new units, over 20,000 people by the water in Lakeview. A little bit further to the west, Brightwater development, used to be an oil refinery. Now it has been zoned for 5,000 new units, plus businesses as well, recreation, access to the lake for everyone. So a lot going on in the south of the city and in the downtown. And then we welcome transit, because to build all these new communities, you still need public transit. So we have embraced light rail transit from the bottom in Port Credit on Huron, Ontario, right to the Brampton border. 18 kilometers, 19 stops. We will travel 33 million people every year on our light rail train. Also on Dundas Street and on Lakeshore, we have been approved for bus rapid transit. On Dundas, pick up from Kipling all the way to UTM to take the students to school, and then beyond as well to the western part of Mississauga, and the same on Lakeshore. Because of all the housing that is coming in, we need more higher level transit in the south end of the city by the lake as well. And you know that already we have a transit way, 18 kilometers, parallel to the 403 bus rapid transit already. So our city is growing. It's thriving. We are one of the most diverse cities. You know that people in Mississauga speak 200 different languages. They're from 150 different countries. But what's different about Mississauga than other places, not only the diversity of our economy, but the skill of our labor force. We have highly trained, highly skilled people. So everyone wants to pull from our labor force in Mississauga, and that's why it's so easy to attract business. I have 400 series highways, I have the airport, Toronto Pearson, and I have a highly trained, highly skilled workforce, so business wants to come to Mississauga.
So on the other hand, the crime is also rapidly going up. So what are you doing for that? Stabbing, shooting, and car thefts, these are so common these days.
You're absolutely right. And I sit on the police board as well, and we have a new chief, Nish Doriapa, brilliant man. And we are working very closely with the Police Services Board to address some of these issues. We have never seen more carjackings than during COVID. This has become almost epidemic proportions. And so we've conducted a task force. We'll be working with other agencies, other stakeholder groups to really understand this problem. You know, containers are checked on the way into Canada, but not on the way out. And that allows them to ship cars out. We need to check containers on the way out as well. We need to work with auto manufacturers on better security so their cars aren't so easily carjacked. And also we know with the pandemic there was labor shortages, there were supply chain issues. Cars were being stolen to break them down for parts, and this was part of the carjacking problem. But with any large city, you do see increased crime, but what I'm very proud of is that Mississauga continues to be statistically one of the safest cities in Canada, and Peel Regional Police do an outstanding job. They have a very high solvency rate. It means if a crime is committed, they're going to find the person. They're very, very good at that. And I know we had a tragic shooting last week in Mississauga. It began in Mississauga, went off to Milton, and then they found the individual in Hamilton. And you could see 3 different levels, 4 police forces worked together to find this guy, and they got him. But how tragic, how devastating, senseless loss. Constable Andrew Hong, then in Milton, Shakil Ashraf, auto body shop owner, young Sikh man, Satwinder Singh. My God, these people are senselessly killed, and then the killer was killed as well. So we do see those. I must say that was not a targeted, maybe killing, it wasn't targeted, but we do see these, and I will say that we are working with the police board, and the police are very diligent when it comes to solving the crimes, but we need more law enforcement, we need greater protection for our people, and I think generally people in Mississauga feel very safe. I know I feel very safe. I go out at night, no problem, but we need to continue to support the men and women in uniform, because we want to continue to have the safest city in Canada.
So there is another more issue is regarding the housing. Mississauga is having so many colleges over there, and there it is a hub of international students also.
Yes.
But the thing is, it is no doubt, there isn't any doubt that Mississauga is providing jobs to many of the students too. But the thing is, when it's come about the housing, they come to Brampton. So what about that? So if you will provide the proper housing facilities.
It's an excellent question, and I will agree with you. There is a housing affordability crisis, and it's with the rising cost of real estate. Everything inflates, even in Mississauga. It starts in Toronto, and then it comes out this way, and Mississauga is facing very high real estate costs. And of course, this is a benefit when you're selling your home now, but when you're buying, almost impossible for our young people, the millennial generation, my children, yourself, almost impossible. And you know, the seniors love their homes, they don't want to leave them. So we have to build more housing. So we understand that, and there isn't a supply issue in Mississauga, it's the cost issue. We need to work with the province and the federal government and the region of Peel on how to reduce the price of new housing. How do we give incentives to builders who will build affordable housing and housing that's suitable for families? Because, you know, in our downtown, we are building many towers, lots of condominiums. In fact, there are 60,000 permits that could be pulled today. Now, we know why developers don't pull them. They wait for the cost to increase so they could sell them higher prices. I understand that. But 20,000 permits have not been pulled to build housing, and another 40,000 are as of right. It means they could take them anytime. So there is a supply. We need to get them built. But more importantly than condominiums, I need to provide purpose-built rental for students and for families who don't want to own a home, they want to rent, and also a variety of housing so that we have 3 and 4 bedrooms for larger families. And this is necessary because the condominiums that are being built, we acknowledge they're small, they're not appropriate for families, even though they're more affordable, but where are you going to put 3, 4 children? So this is the issue. How do we make housing more affordable given the cost of land? How do we work with other levels of government to incentivize it? For instance, if there is surplus land, and our city doesn't have surplus land, but the province, the federal government, they do have pieces here and there. How do we sell it at a lower cost so we could build affordable housing or seniors housing, because we'd like to build purpose-built seniors housing too, with so much demand for long-term care and seniors housing as well. So we've been trying to work with them, the federal provincial government, to say, how do we bring more housing on the market that's appropriate for families and that's affordable for families? What can you do to help us lower the cost for them?
So are you in the are you talking with the colleges also for the student homes, so, affordable students homes in fact? So are you working with them? Any task force is working for the students that they are living over there?
So we're very blessed because, of course, we have University of Toronto Mississauga campus, UTM. We have Sheridan College in the downtown, and we have Trios College as well, Mohawk as well. And this is a very common issue. In the downtown where Sheridan College is and Trios, there's a lot of rental housing in the downtown, which is of benefit. By the University of Toronto, not so much. And there isn't enough supply on the campus, that the campus must build more housing as well. So these are ongoing conversations that we do have with the colleges, with the universities, how we build more housing for students. In the downtown, more rental is available than closer to the university, but still this is a very common issue, very common problem. I would have liked to have seen Sheridan College build, right even on Square One property, some housing for the students. With that, it would have been the right thing to do. But they don't own the land. Oxford Omers owns the land, and we know that there are plans for redevelopment, 30 towers from the around Square One being built by Oxford Omers, and let's hope that some of that will be dedicated to student housing.
So many immigrants who are coming to Canada, GTA is their first choice to live and to work in, and so it is putting pressures on the city services too. It could be either the hospital services or could be either the transit services. So transits are in Mississauga are full this time these days, so crowded. So are you going to add some more buses in it?
Yes, absolutely. This is an excellent question, by the way. And so when I have received my gas tax money from the provincial, the federal government, we automatically apply that to transit. We are always investing in transit. Tens of thousands of hours every year get invested back into transit. We expand routes. We look for efficiencies. We build express buses. And now we're building light rail transit as well to move people north-south from the bottom, from the south of Mississauga all the way to the Brampton border to connect with the GO trains at Port Credit, to connect at Cooksville, and it would have been nice to connect as well at Brampton GO train station, but unfortunately the train not yet doesn't go that far, but hopefully it will. And it connects at our transit terminal along our transit way, which is the bus rapid transit way along the parallel to the 403, and at that end point will connect with Eglinton Crosstown, the Toronto subway route. So this is all about connectivity and building more transit. You're absolutely right. Transit is something I believe when new developments are being built, you must build the transit at the same time to take the pressure off the road. So we are always investing in transit. One of my key themes to move Mississauga means to get people out of their car and into public transit. It gives them options. Now, the hospitals, this is another story. Our healthcare system is broken. It's very frail. And we're counting on the provincial government to continue to invest. The good news is in Mississauga, we've been promised a new hospital.
Oh, that's good.
22 stories, I think 1.3 million square feet. It'll be adding 950 beds. It'll be a model state-of-the-art hospital, the biggest, best, newest in Canada. It'll be one of the 3 largest in North America, right in Mississauga at here, Ontario in Queensway, where the Trillium site is. And we have many people stepping up and donating money to help us build this new hospital. So we're very excited. But you're right, the pressure on the healthcare system is very problematic. We saw during COVID, everyone stayed home and we treated only the people with the virus, but that just backed up all the surgeries and the treatments that were needed. So now that, you know, the pandemic is becoming endemic, meaning that, you know, it's still there, but we can, it's in the system and we can cope with it a little better. Now we're dealing with the backlog of the surgeries and the cancer treatments that were put on hold because we are in the crisis during the pandemic. And this is putting a strain on the system. And, you know, we're very blessed to have 3 hospitals in our network, building the brand new one. But there's pressure on the seniors' homes. And you saw that the provincial government said that if you're in the hospital, you need to be transferred out. You're going to be transferred out the first available space. And this is causing some anxiety with some families. But the healthcare system needs attention. It needs care. It needs more investment. And so this is something we're working with, you know, the provincial, the federal government to improve the funding for our healthcare system.
So when you talk about the provincial government, so Mr. Premier, Mr. Ford said they are in the favor of giving some more powers to the mayors of the cities.
Yes.
So are you in the favor of this statement?
Yes, this is the Strong Mayor program. It differs a little bit from the Strong Mayors in the U.S. because in the U.S. you pretty much act as the CEO and you hire everyone, you fire everyone. It is your agenda that you campaigned on to be implemented. The Premier sees this as a little bit different. He gives us a veto power if we want to encourage make the provincial priorities, but yet our councils have the veto over us. So it's difficult to see how this will work. I, for one, I work very well with my council. Mississauga, we have a very high-functioning council. We all are colleagues. We work very well together. We support each other. We do what's in the best interest of Mississauga. We come to work. We work hard. And I like to think that I'm a consensus builder. So when there's an important vote, I'll go to all my councillors and say, this is important for Mississauga, this is important for all of us. Maybe your ward doesn't benefit directly, but it's important for the whole city. And we work together to make it happen. I'd say 95% of our votes, maybe more, we vote unanimously to get things done. So for me, the Strong Mayor power not that critical because I get things done with my council without this power. And, you know, there may be opportunities. I don't know if we will be extended this power. So far, Toronto and Ottawa. And then I don't know what the criteria will be to extend it to which municipalities if the Premier plans to do more
consulting. We recently talked about Brampton, so that's why I was asking, like, if Mayor of Mississauga is looking for the same power too.
So I understand that he will decide if we get it. I don't know if the criteria is by population or what the criteria is. If he gives it to me, fine. I must say that today I get a lot done without these powers because I work very, very collaboratively by building consensus with my council members.
So in the end, what are your future plans as a mayor of Mississauga, for Mississauga?
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I believe in a strong independent city for Mississauga. You know, I work very hard for our city, and as I mentioned, our council works very well together. Our plans are to continue to build affordable housing, to continue to build more transit, to continue to attract investment and create jobs so people can live and work in our city. And this is my goal, to make a livable, walkable city with complete communities, places where not only do you get a job, but you live in the city, you work in the city and live in the city. I want a vibrant downtown. I want communities where there's action and activity, waterfront that's animated. I want shops and restaurants. But building the affordable housing is key, and so is safety. Community safety is vital. If people don't feel safe and secure in their houses or in their places of worship, places of worship, everybody should feel safe to go to your place of worship and pray to your God. I know I feel safe and I want everyone to feel safe. So safety is just as vital as building more affordable housing, providing more transit, and attracting investment and continuing to do so.
So elections is on 24th of October. So any message to the viewers who are watching you?
Yes, I have a very important message, and I will ask for your support. I hope I have done a good job, and I hope you will continue to support me. Unfortunately, the election is on Diwali. So please, there are many advance polls. Take advantage of the advance poll, please, and vote. Exercise your democratic right. It is your civic duty, your civic responsibility to vote. There are people dying in the world who want that right to vote, and yet our people stay home. And I don't know why that is. In Mississauga, 1 in 3 people vote. 1 in 3, less than 1/3. Less than 1/3 people vote. And I understand there isn't the same hype because there's no national debates and no advertising from the Conservatives, the Liberal, the NDP, the Green. They don't see these advertising. They just see the signs on the lawns go up and they think something's happening. I wonder when it's happening. But please, get educated. Find out who are your mayoral candidates. Who are your council candidates? Who are your trustee candidates? Get behind them. Volunteer if you can. But most importantly, go and vote. Go and vote, because later, when you don't like something, you didn't vote, so you shouldn't complain. We need everybody to vote, to exercise their civic responsibility. And I understand people are happy, and they were happy with Hazel, they stay home. With Bonnie, they know Bonnie. I provided certainty, strong, steady leadership during the pandemic. I think it was very strong, steady leadership. My team likes to say, Bonnie, you were very strong, very steady, provided certainty for your people, good communication during COVID. But now we need you to vote. You know, I know you feel comfortable with my leadership, and I thank you for that. But please, do the right thing, exercise your democratic right, and vote.
Of course. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
So, दोस्तों, इसी साडा प्रोग्राम ते उम्मीद करते हैं so step out ते जाके vote करो. If you will not vote, then you don't have any right to complain. So, thank you so much. Take care. ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ.
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ.
ਲੇਟੈਸਟ ਨਿਊਜ਼ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਫੋਨ ਤੇ ਦੇਖਣ ਲਈ ਸਾਡਾ ਚੈਨਲ ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਕਰੋ ਅਤੇ ਨੋਟੀਫਿਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਬੈਲ ਆਈਕਨ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਦਬਾਓ.